Yes, hey everybody. This is Melissa Jane Nixon, and I am so thankful that there are still people at 8:48 tonight when we were supposed to start at 8 o'clock. And actually, we did start. We started on time too, and we had a whole conversation and live virtual party happening in a location by ourselves. Literally, it was just myself and the guests, and we were, I mean, it was good too. And then finally, I have, of course, support in the room, and she says, I think y'all are just talking amongst yourselves, so we got to figure this thing out. And so thankfully, I have the best friends in the world, the closest colleagues in the world that said, you know what, Melissa, we're going to come back on as well. And so everyone was on the other call. We're just waiting. So Nikita says she's on as a viewer. Everyone was waiting for me. Give me one quick second. And so, can you talk with her, Lana? So our host is on as a viewer. Hey, Nikita. Lana's going to be messaging with you to get you back on so you can be with us tonight. I've already sent you the invite to your Gmail account. But thank you so much. People are going to be popping in the room. I have Adrian Young with me, one of my clients, Damian Johnson, one of my good friends who's been with me on the entire journey, and we are going to celebrate tonight. Thank you so much for just not only celebrating the book, but it's the message. It is the message that I need people to get. When I had that book in mind, when I had the book in mind, when I started it 2 years ago, now granted, I tell people all the time, it does not take 2 years to write a book, but sometimes you have to get out of your own way. And so when I got out of my own way, I had the person, and let me make sure I just, I hear people popping in, yay, hey guys, come on in the room, I hear you, I see the numbers going up because people just got the email and we've been getting the word out on Facebook, but I just want to put my computer on mute. So, but when I just want to let you know who I had in mind when I wrote The Courageous Life. And that was anyone, any woman, any man with a dream. I'm sorry, what? Okay. Any man, any woman with a dream that is beyond them and they're not exactly sure how to go after it. Sometimes it seems intimidating. Sometimes we talk ourselves out of it because we feel like we're not good enough. Sometimes we try to figure out the how, and so much is happening, and we're trying to figure out what, I don't even know the full plan, and I can't make it up, so I'm just going to stay where I am. I had that person, that woman, that man in mind when I wrote The Courageous Life, How to Leap from Your Career to Your Calling. And while everyone is joining in tonight and hopping on to the live hangout, I really want to just be able to, before I go to any of my guests and everyone's logging on, I really just wanted to be able to encourage you because I was able to do it. And don't get me wrong, this is not about you turning in your 2 weeks notice today because I am not responsible for that. I cannot pay your mortgage. I cannot do that. But what I can do is teach you how to take the very next step while you are where you are to get to where you're going. And that's what The Courageous Life is all about. Everything, no matter how little or how small, it may be a risk. It will be a risk, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. One of the things I say all the time, I'm not afraid of failure, but I am absolutely afraid of regret. I'm afraid of it. I don't ever want to get to any season of my life and wonder what would have happened if I just tried. What would have happened if I just had taken that step, if I had just had been willing to risk a no. Sometimes we're so afraid of no that we miss the yeses that are meant for us. We're so afraid of it, and we're so afraid that the answer might be no or that it might not work out that we miss the very thing we're supposed to do. So that is why I am here. We're celebrating all day. I've been getting text messages, Facebook messages to talk about The Courageous Life. And so one of the people that I want to bring on right now is one of my good friends, Damian Johnson. He has been with me since day one. I remember I've been a part of a number of coaching programs, and have a number of mentors and coaches, book coaches, business coaches, you name it. That has been one of the things that has helped me to get to where I am 3 years later after getting fired from corporate America. But one of the things with Damian is that I reached out to him because I knew that he was a part of the John Maxwell team. Did not know him from Adam. I saw his name on a website, reached out to him. We met at Panera Bread and have been inseparable since when it comes to talking about business. So, Damian, thank you so much for being with me tonight. Just tell us a little bit about your journey and also how the Courageous Life message has impacted you.
Hey, Melissa. I'm
Now,
so
you on
excited
mute?
to be here. I'm so
I think you
excited
might still be on
to.
mute, Damien. Oh, I may no, I have you on mute. I have you on mute. Ha ha ha. Turn
Oh,
my
hello.
computer up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So, well, good evening, everyone, and so excited about this launch party. And Melissa, I know that this has been a long-awaited journey, and I got to tell you, I am so godly proud of you, Melissa, for this accomplishment. I think the thing that excites me most is the fact that I remember when you reached out to me, and I remember that first meeting that we had in Panera Bread, and to see your growth over those years. I think it's been, I don't know, maybe 3 years now. But just to see your growth and to watch your journey has been nothing short of incredible. And what resonates most with me about the Courageous Life and this book is because it is your authentic message, because you wrote the book not just as a collection of stories, but you wrote the book from your life and what you were living at the time. And every ounce of the Courageous Life is your story, and it is authentic because you've lived it. And you and I have had personal conversations, and we've had those conversations when there was fear, when there was uncertainty, when it was like, all right, Jesus, we need you to come through. And there's so much that I've learned, not only from our talks, but so much that I've learned from watching your journey, watching you hold on to the faith, and watching you get to this awesome place where you've got the book and the messages reaching thousands of people, and you're actually impacting lives, and now you're living your dream because you didn't quit. And so that is really, really exciting to me. There's a couple of things that for the people that are watching, and thank God for all of you that have held on tonight to celebrate with Melissa, as we all are. But there's some things that Melissa shared with me way before. You probably will see these things in the book, but way before the book ever existed. I remember I was driving one day, and Melissa said to me that courage is a repetitive action, that you have to every day get up and make the decision to act with courage. That courage is not just about making a one-time decision, but you have to show up courageously every time. And as an entrepreneur, as a person that's reaching for their dreams, you absolutely have to get up every day and recommit to making courageous decisions, those decisions that put you outside of your comfort zone, those decisions that make you feel like, quite frankly, you're taking a step out onto the water, and you're not sure if it's going to be if there's going to be firm footing for you to step onto, but you're doing it anyhow, believing that when you take each step, the next one will be shown to you. Another thing that I remember Melissa said to me, and I never forgot this, she said, Damien, the miracle will come when you need it. Yeah, you might want to write that down. The miracle will come when you need it. And so many of us, we know that God is calling us for more, that there is something greater, something more purposeful that we're supposed to be doing. We're dissatisfied with our jobs, but we never put ourselves in a position where it requires a miracle, and you never see a miracle show up until a miracle is needed. And so I always remember that whenever I'm faced with uncertainty, that until I'm at a place where I actually need a miracle, no miracle is going to show up. And so I have learned so much from my friendship with Melissa, and I can think of a time when I was in a comfortable place. And for those of you that have not gotten to know Melissa yet, you're not gonna be around her and be comfortable for too long, because she's always pushing you. She's always challenging you to go further, go higher, to do more, to think deeper, to swing for the fences, right? And I was in this really, really comfortable place in a nice six-figure job, and not moving towards my dream. And Melissa, I don't know if you remember this, but I'm going to read this to you. And for the benefit of the audience, I want to share something that Melissa shared with me personally. It was so powerful, y'all, that I had to take a snapshot of it. This is a message that she sent me. We were going back and forth in Facebook Messenger. And I'm going to read verbatim what she said to me. He said, I want to, one second here, things popping up. She says, I want to challenge you with something. It's not about you believing you or in you. It's about you believing the God in you. I really believe that is the key for so many. Forget all this self-development, personal development stuff. Work on your faith until you believe the very word that you read, the songs that you sing, and the God that you serve to the unshakable core of your soul. Wrestle with your faith until you are ready to go from a Christian life that just looks good and just existing, to one that takes you out into the deep waters of the ocean, where trust without borders, like the Hillsong song says. It's not about you believing in you, but believing the God that you say is within you. What does God say about Damien? Whatever that is, know that his word does not return void. Wow. Wow.
Wow, Damien. I forgot that I even sent that to you.
You probably forgot about that, didn't you, Melissa? But that's who you are. You've always been one that sometimes when the phone rings and I see your face pop up on my screen, I'm like, Lord Jesus, I ain't ready for this stretch, because I know it's always going to be a stretch, and I know I can't be in a place of complacency around you. So Melissa, I love you. Congratulations, and every step that you make, I think I said this in the launch party in the Courageous Life book launch group. I said that every victory that you gain is a victory for us, because I feel like I share in your success, because every time that you succeed, it gives me hope and it gives me confidence to know that if God did it for you, that he can do it for me too. And for those of you all listening, he is not a respecter of persons. He will do it for you if you're willing to trust him and keep taking steps of faith. So Melissa, congratulations. The Courageous Life, the book is here, and we are excited for you.
Hey, Cheryl, welcome to the party. Go ahead and put your mute on. We're just finishing up with Damien right now. And Damien, thank you so much. One, for just encouraging me and praying with me throughout the entire process. And two, for reminding me of the stuff that I said, because I forgot that I even said it. But one of the things that is so true, guys, that I push people on, that literally makes or breaks me on any given day to this day, that it's not about what I know. It's not about who I know. It's not about what I have. It's not about what I don't have. At the end of the day, it comes down to some level of faith, some level of belief. Well, I believe the God that I say that I serve. Will I do that? And a lot of times, so many times, we either don't step forward, or we take a step back, or we stay right where we are, is because we can't see it with our own eyes. We can't see it. We can't feel it. We don't know it. And it's one of those things that we would rather be able to trust in ourselves and stay in a place where it's cute, and stay in a place where, we say that we believe, but technically when the rubber hits the road, we really don't. We'd rather stay where we can see what's going to happen next. And let me tell you, the thing that's in your heart to do what's next, you will not be able to see it. Sometimes you only see the next step. And you have to be willing to say, I'm going to take the thing that I know to do tomorrow, even though I don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. And it's the scariest thing ever, but I don't need you to figure out what's happening into next week. We lived our whole lives like that. I need you to say, I am going to show up for exactly what I need to do today. So Damien, thank you so much. So thankful for you. So thankful that, hopefully when my picture pops up on the phone, you can stop being a little nervous about it, because I really am just calling to say hey. But yeah, thank you so much for just being a part of the journey and for being committed to live your courageous life as well. So right now we want to pop over to Cheryl, who has just joined us. And I met Cheryl through a networking organization, and there are just certain people that you click with. There are just certain people that, and Damien, don't go anywhere, just stay on, put your profile pic up. Thank you so much. There are just certain people that you just, you know that you're meant to be connected. And so I want to introduce you to Cheryl. She is a dynamite educator, a principal, a higher ed guru, diva expert. And so Cheryl, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're doing to live your most courageous life, and what's next for you, and how the message has impacted you.
Wow, I am a 27-year educator who never wanted to teach. Never saw myself as a teacher. Went off to college, majored in mathematics with a concentration in computer science, and I wanted to make money. And then in my senior year, my church opened up a school, and they were looking for teachers, and they could not have been speaking to me. But God said, submit your application. And I waited and I waited and I waited. And then because I figured I did not have the patience, dealing with children wasn't for me. And while I was doing a senior project, I was also a tutor at my college, and this young man asked me a question, and it took me 30 minutes to help him. And right when I finished, God said, see, you have the patience. And so the church had stopped asking for resumes and everything, and I went ahead and filled in my resume because God said, see, you have the patience. And here I am, 25 years later, had a first interview, a second interview, and I've been with the school for 27 years. The first 25 years in the classroom, and the second 25, the last 2 years I've been the elementary principal, and now I've moved on to be the principal of the middle and high school, and the school goes from K through 12. So I'm considered the head principal. And when I got this last position, I was like, this is too much. I can't do it. But in your book, you talk about the power of saying yes, and knowing that where God leads you, He has also equipped you. And I shared with you earlier how the words of Oceans by Hillsong, you referenced that in your book, how it resonated. That so oftentimes we are looking for the full picture. And we want to see the whole roadmap before we step out on faith in God. And that verse of that song resonated. The power of that yes, and that continual yes, and knowing that even though I've said the initial yes, that as I go along, when things come up, that I have to say yes to that next thing, even in the transition. So I'm so excited. You are right. Yes, we clicked. And I just thank you for the connection. I thank you for your being courageous enough to tell your story, to be transparent, to be authentic, because so many people need to hear it, to know that they can take a leap. And that leap may not be to own your own business. It may be to move within the organization that you're already a part of. But to have the courage to say, God, whatever you want me to do, whatever your plan for my life, as the Bible says in Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, say of God, thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end, a hope in the future. So our future is in His hands, and He is ordering our steps. And so all we have to do is trust and to say that repeated yes. So I'm excited for you, Melissa. Congratulations, and I look forward to hearing all the testimonies that will impact you.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. I appreciate you being here. One of the things that you just said that I want to reiterate, that leaping from your career to your calling may not even be about starting a business. It's not about saying, I got to turn in my 2 weeks notice, I got to become this 6 or 7 figure business owner. Your calling is the thing that you are supposed to be doing. And if you're not doing it wherever that is, then you're in the wrong place. That means if you are in construction and you need to be in interior design, then you need to switch. That means if you are in a 9 to 5, but you know you need to be working on weekends so that you can serve your family. I don't know what your story is, but if you're not in the proper position, you will miss out not only what God has for you, but what He also has for others.
That's right.
You have to get, I feel like, will life be okay if we're somehow not in proper position? Yeah, we can skate by, we can get our needs met, and it will be okay. But the thing that I regret the most is how much more better would my life be if I were truly doing the things that I was supposed to do? So we can pretend and we can create a facade of happiness and things like that, but until we are actually doing the things we're supposed to do, then we'll never be able to release every gift that we've been given. And so I don't want to get to the end of my life and feel like I didn't do all that I could. I at least want to be able to say that, you know what, I tried. I tried and succeeded, or I tried and failed, but I tried. The whole fact is you have to be willing to show up and try and try and try again. There are so many times that we look at the people. One of the things that people tease me about when they come to my house is I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. I don't even know if my cable works because it's just not my thing. I fell out of it probably a few years ago. And that's not knocking anybody who does, because everybody has their thing. I do more social media. Other people watch TV. But one of the things within that is I don't watch TV because one of the things that one of my best friends, who's now in heaven, she used to say, I don't have time to sit there and watch that because they're living their dreams. I'm trying to live mine. And so when you think about all the people that we watch that are actors and actresses, and I'm not sure, you guys hear that phone ringing, Cheryl? I have all kinds of incoming phone calls right now. So, but one of the things in reference to the actors and actresses, the musicians. I mean, everyone is going around now to the Beyonce concerts. The Formation concert is happening, and that's awesome. But one of the things that when we're watching her, you're looking at years of commitment, years of everybody saying yes to her now, that she now can be the one to say no. But years of when they had to go back to not being a winner on Star Search. Years when they got told no for certain record deals and certain songs. But now, because of the commitment, we're able to watch her and others live out their craft. So that's all I want people to do. When you're talking about living the courageous life, I want you to be able to have the level of commitment that it takes, that whether it's a year from now or 2 years from now or 10 years from now, you're able to say, I showed up, I said yes, and I was committed to the thing that God said I was supposed to do. Amen. So we are in the midst of going through tonight and celebrating and launching. And one of the things about me, guys, is you will never see me try to pretend something that I'm not. You will never see me try to say, oh, I am making X amount of money and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Now, have I had some amazing keynotes and speaking engagements? Yes, I have. But is it, where my calendar is like I'm booked until 2018 and 2019? No. I'm never going to pretend that I'm further along than what I am. And I will always tell you whether I'm having a great day or whether this is a tough day. A couple of days ago in the book launch team, I was having a moment. I had a couple of moments. Friday night I was tired. Saturday morning I was tired. I was like, Lord, this is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I don't even know. Sometimes I feel like it's going to be a great payoff. Other times I feel like I don't even know if it's going to pay off at all. And so you know what I do? I'm honest. I got in my book launch group on Facebook, and I said, you know what, guys, I need prayer. I need you guys to lift me up, because although I am willing to walk this thing out, I am walking this thing out, there are some hard moments, some moments where you need people to come alongside you, lift you up, and just breathe life into the thing that you know you're supposed to be doing, that you just need a little bit more pep in your step. So I'm not going to pretend like saying yes is this super easy, it's going to be this overnight success. It's nothing like that at all. For some people, it might be. But that is not my story. It is not my testimony. But I do know that because I have been committed. I do know that because I have continued to say yes day after day, that I've continued to put in the work, the consistency, the faith, the prayer, that God rewards that. He rewards when we walk by faith. I truly believe that faith is rewarded. It's rewarded at work. It's rewarded at home. And so I want you to be able to do that in a way that it's not intimidating, but it's you saying yes to your dreams and willing to go after it. Nikita's here. Oh my gosh. So, guys, I know you're watching. When I tell you the amount of difficulties, technical difficulties that have been happening tonight, I have probably two more people, guests, that are trying to get on. And the last 20 minutes, they've been trying to get on. But we do have one more, and that is our host, Nikita B. Hey.
Oh,
So I'm going to hush right now because I need a little bit of laughter for tonight. So Nikita, I know you've been trying to get on, but we've heard from Damien, we've heard from Cheryl. So I just want you to just kind of talk for a little bit, and then we'll pop it over to Adrian in just a second. So glad to see my friend.
I'm glad to be on, but you know what, Melissa? Even when I was becoming frustrated trying to get on, I thought about you. And I thought about when you and I met, and we met through investing in ourselves to build a brand that you have, that I have. But it's all about being courageous. Fear and courageousness cannot reside in the same place.
Cannot.
You were courageous enough to write this book. You was courageous enough to invite everybody on so that they can give their own perspective. You was courageous enough not to give up, because you could have said, look, let's reschedule. You was like, let's do it. We got to keep going. So I think it's perfect. Now, a lot of people may not, but I'm saying it's just awesome how God works even in the midst of the things that we go through. So, to those of you who are not familiar with me, I am comedian Nikita B. I am your host for tonight. I'm here to uplift none other than Melissa Nixon. She is a guru and full of courageousness. I'm just making up words because you can do that when it takes you that long to get online. You can make up words. But the book, The Courageous Life, me, myself, thinking about all the things that I've had to go through, and it took courage for me to do it. It took courage for me to be able to set aside anything that was holding me back that I was familiar with in order for me to pursue. And in The Courageous Life, guys, these are the things that I talked about. These are the things that you will learn about. If you don't know how to do, you don't know what to do, The Courageous Life, it gives you an action plan for that. Now, of course, the book, it may not give you the courage that you need because that is on the inside of you. But if you desire to have courage, it shows you how to get it. So, Melissa, I thank you so much for thinking of people like myself, thinking of people that don't think much of themselves, and thinking of professional women. You didn't leave anybody out, man or woman. And I thank you so much for that. And I just thank you for not being selfish and keeping all that goodness to yourself. So I'm super excited to be on. And guys, I'm telling you, it's available on Amazon right now today. It's a launch party, so y'all need to make it do what it do. It's almost like you get ready to go into any other kind of party. You have to have the book to get in, general admission. You know what I'm saying? So I need y'all to go cop a copy. That's what y'all need. Y'all need this in y'all life. That's why you stuck now. That's why you're not moving forward, because you don't have the courage. So this is about the most inexpensive piece of information that will leave an invaluable impression on your life. So quit playing and go ahead now. Melissa, I'm telling these folks now. But Melissa, look, I missed it because I was trying to get on. But look, tell me, for somebody that looks at you and say, she's gorgeous, she's professional, she got it going on, she's already made it, I'm just starting. What would you say to that person?
That I'm just starting too? No. Ooh, oh gosh, I'm just starting. Gosh, I want to go back to 3 years ago when truly I just started. And I remember I probably started a good 4 or 5 times before I finally made, and you'll hear me talk about in the book, a non-negotiable decision. One that once I started for the last time, I said, we are going to put everything in this with our whole heart. And so the only way that I can tell you about my beginning is to only be able to tell you about my story. In 2013, I was working in corporate America. Loved my job. Salary was amazing. Corporate plane access. You name it. I had it. Vacation, shopping, all of that stuff. And I was just in a place of, but God, I know that there's more. When I was in 12th grade, I literally got a vision, a glimpse of me standing on stage, inspiring so many people. I didn't know how it was going to happen or what needed to happen, but it was just a vision that I always held on to. And finally, as I got older, I said, you know what? I have to see what this is about. I would go and see different speakers or go to different events, and I would say, I could do that. I think I can do that. I mean, I know they had some years of training, but it just seemed like something that was meant for me to do. But I was here, I was in this great job, and I always thought, well, I would never be able to leave because then how would I pay my bills?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I had to realize when I finally got let go, corporate America released me to pursue my calling, was that my best friend, she told me, she said, Melissa, this is not about your mortgage. This is not about your car payment. This is not about those little things, your cell phone bill, your anything. This is about the thing that God has called you to do. And if he's called you to it, he will provide for it. And so that was a big mindset shift that I had to have in order to go from my career to my calling, is that I had to be able to, I did a video earlier today and it brought me to tears when I thought about it, is I was holding on to what I knew. I was holding on to the ability to take care of myself instead of finally saying yes to knowing that, God, you can do a much better job than what I am. You have so much more than what I have, but I'm trying to hold on to this that I can't even get to that right now. And so that year before I got laid off, I had started my whole big thing is I don't care where you are. I don't care how busy you are. If you know that there's somewhere different that you're supposed to be, start right now. Start where you are. And so that's what I did that year, not knowing that in the next 6 to 8 months they would say thanks, but no thanks. We no longer need you.
Wow.
And so what I did was I remember finally saying, I told my best friend, I'm going to start planning my first event. But before I did that, I said in my head, and I picked a date, but I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't want to tell anybody because I knew if I did, somebody that was close to me that really had my back was going to hold me accountable. And so I was nervous. And so finally I told my best friend, and she said, okay, go find the location. And I went to work. I knew nothing about brand building. I knew nothing about having to have a following to get people to show up to your events. I knew nothing about that. I just said, we're going to have an event, and I'm going to find 25 people to show up. And I think I might have had 12 or 13, but you know what? I did it. I did it, and that way, when that day came, when corporate America said thanks but no thanks, I was already en route, in motion for my plan. It didn't catch me off guard. I mean, it caught me off guard because I was like, wait, do you know who I am? But at the same time, I was already in motion. Sometimes I think we're caught off guard because we haven't been working on our next because we're so focused on staying in our now, you know? And so I was already in motion, Nikita. And so it's baby steps. I said I'm going to have an event, so I picked a date. Once I picked the date, I found the location. Once I found the location, I started doing what little bit about marketing I knew. And it just went from there. I didn't know any better. I just started. I told a story in the book launch group the other day that I needed to, when the day I got laid off, I had nothing. I knew nothing. I had a plane. I was going to a conference that I'd already signed up for. So I said, okay. I packed up my office. The first stop I made, it wasn't for gas, it wasn't for money, it was to Office Depot for some business cards.
Wow.
It wasn't branded. It was just like, okay, let me pick a template, put my name on it, my phone number on it, because I have to go get some connections because I don't have no job. I needed to be able to go and feel some sense of setup for success. The other thing I told in that story yesterday, Nikita, was I knew nothing about anything, professional photography, anything. Girl, I found me a Groupon, and it was the picture people in the mall. And I went and got my pictures done. I picked out my outfits. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me anything because I was in business for myself. Not a client, not a dollar made yet, but I was going to take my $35 to get my pictures done because I knew that I was going places. It was all about starting where I was. And now I've learned so much. I've grown as a businesswoman. I've grown the brand. We are in a much different place, but it was truly not waiting until it was perfect, but it was waiting to make sure that I was in progress. And
Right.
so many times, and Cheryl, if you can put your phone on mute, that would be great. Your thing on mute. So many times we are waiting on perfection. We're
Right.
waiting on perfection. And if I waited on perfection, I would still be in the same position that I was 3 years ago. Now, I tell anybody, if I could make $1, then you can make $1 as well. If I can make a few dollars or a few $1,000s, as I have in keynotes and coaching clients and things like that, you can too. The one difference maker, Nikita, and I'm gonna turn it back over to you, and I'll tell you this one last thing. I had to build the confidence.
Right.
I had the gifts. I had the skills, and you're continuing to hone those as you go in and go on. But I had to build the confidence. And once I got the confidence to say my keynote is worth this, once I got the confidence to say my coaching services are worth this, that's when my business began to grow. But it was a confidence issue. It wasn't a skill set issue. It wasn't a gift issue. It was a confidence issue to say, one, will you pay for my services? And two, this is how much it costs. So your question goes back to, what does it do? What does someone that's just getting started have to do? You do what you know until you know better.
Wow.
You
That's
do what you know until you know better. All I knew was Office Depot was on my way home. All I knew that there was a Groupon on my phone for picture people. You do what you know until you know better. And you know what? When I put up that picture people profile pic, it got 100 likes. I mean, I didn't know any better, but it was what I knew. It was what I knew. So I just want to encourage people tonight. Start where you are and do what you know until you know better. And you grow in seasons. Trying to wait on the perfect website right now for those that are going into business, you won't have it. I'm on my third one. Nikita, you're on a different one too. You've had yours, Rita. Everyone, as you go through iterations, and there's as Jay-Z says, there's levels to this, right? There
that's
is
right.
levels to this, So back to you, Nikita.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And you're exactly right, family. There's level to this thing. Even with being courageous, there's levels to it. And moving along, we're going to go to our next spotlight. We've heard from Damien, right?
Yep, we've heard from Damien. We've heard from Cheryl. Now we're going to go over to Adrienne.
All right. So Adrienne, guys, Adrienne is another awesome woman, which we spoke briefly a little bit earlier, and I love her perspective because she's talking about being in transition. So for those of you who know that there's greater, you know that there's a great calling, don't go out there talking about the Lord said go and you decide you're going to go. You will have a romantic lifestyle because your light's going to get cut off, and you're going to have to light candles, honey. So don't do that.
Oh, God.
We know he'll feed us, but we ain't want to test him. You understand? So, Adrienne, my darling, talk
Yes.
to the people. Tell them what this book has done for you in your transition period.
Let me tell you, I needed the blueprint from a Christian perspective to have what Melissa calls the exit strategy. Because so many times we get what we call the unction to leave our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We get the unction, but we don't have the money. We don't have anything. But like she said, you can read all the way through this book. You can set up every plan. But if you do not believe
Yeah.
that God has called you to leap from your career to your calling. You're just putting yourself out there. And I so wanted to leave my job, but my assignment there was not over and I didn't have an exit strategy. So I tell anybody, Melissa wrote this book just for me, not nobody else. She just wrote it just for me. I needed something to say, this is how you do it. This is what you're going to face. She let us know the good, the bad, the ugly, and the wows of it. And how it's a continual, yes, a continual to surrendering and a continual trust in God. Like, it's crazy to leave. My job is perfect right now. Melissa knows that I just asked for more time off. I asked for a pay raise, and I'm getting a new office next year.
Oh, wow.
But if the good Lord Jesus taps me on the shoulder, I will so walk away from that $10,000 raise that I just got, and I will walk away from everything because he is limitless. And I was limiting him, saying I have to have this type of salary when he's like, okay, I can do so much better than that. He is the exceeding abundantly above all we can ask or thank God. And I think so many times we box them in and think, oh, we have to have this, I have to have that. Yes, but at the end of the day, where's the courage and the faith to say, Lord, if you called me to it, you will so much get me through it. So this book scared me. When I first read it, it really did scare me because it was tapping on my heart to not stay comfortable, to not get glorified over the new glass office I'm going to get, to realize that that raise that I got when I told Melissa about it, it is to help me, prepare me to get out of debt. So when it is time for me to leap, I'm going to have a little cushion underneath me. So I just absolutely, this book has changed my life. It's changed how I look at how God prepares you. And I'm so grateful that it is written from a perspective, a Christian perspective that I can identify with, that I won't feel like I'm crazy, that I realize that it's going to be moments where I'm going to think I'm crazy. And I'm so grateful for the transparency that Melissa and all those who contributed to the book gave to us. So we know, yeah, you're going to feel crazy, but it's your calling. And you got to be ready to go in the crazy, knowing that if God called you to it, he'll call you through it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Guys, I hope you listened to what she said. I hope you guys understand that even though you know that you have a calling, even if you are courageous enough to step into it, it's a process to it. It's a transitioning period. And Melissa, with this book, The Courageous Life, you talk about different things. You talk about the transition period. You talk about your humble beginnings. You talk about the process. You talk about the whole thing. So when you were writing this book, though, what were you thinking as you were writing the book?
Who was going to read it? Oh, that is a real thought, Nikita. I honestly, as I was writing it, and there were times that writing was effortless. There was times when it seemed that much more difficult. And I just felt like, oh my gosh, who is going to read this? And again, that goes back to the confidence thing. Every new thing you do that's out of your comfort zone, there will be some thought that comes along with it that makes you say, what in the world am I doing? And why am I doing it? This is a lot of work. And so that was what I was thinking. But the thing that kept me going is I thought about the stuck woman that I was. And I thought about all the other stuck men and women that are literally on the verge. When I tell you my heart grieves, like literally, if I think about it too much for too long, when I see someone that has amazing gifts and either they don't believe enough in themselves or they're so too afraid to go after it and figure out the how, it grieves my heart. Wow. It grieves my heart, especially if they are a person of faith, because I want people to be able to trust in God enough to say, God, I know you can do this for me too. That's I see what everyone else is doing and has done. I know you can do it for me too. And I try to paint a picture that isn't so, roses and daisies, because it will be hard. It will be a lot of hard moments. You guys that are living out your career to your calling, you know that. But I know that there's also reward and that God rewards faith. And so that's what I was thinking when I wasn't thinking about who's going to read this book and I was being selfish, like about me. I had that person in mind. I had me in mind for all the years that I sat with one foot in corporate and one foot trying to move. And that's why I was stuck, because I had a comfortable foot in corporate and one foot that was like a toe that was sticking out the door, that was just wanting to move forward and wanting to do something. And I would do a little coaching program here. I would, I was an avid dreamer, avid goal setter. If you go back through I love journaling, I love writing, I write out my prayers. If you go back to any of those things, you will see from, I think somebody was at my house the other day, I had something from 2004, 2005, where I literally am talking about the thing that I wanted to do and am doing now. And so I had to be able to think about those times and how do I help people get out of that and be able to live a life of fulfillment and freedom. So one of the things, Nikita, before we go on and go to the next thing and begin to wrap this up, I want everyone, because you guys have stuck in there, we have amazing prizes, and many of you have sent in your courageous your receipts, your pre-order receipts. But for everyone that is on right now, because you have been so patient to stick with us through the technical difficulties, please send us an email to hello@courageouslifeacademy.com that just says, Melissa, I'm on, and I want to make sure we totally gift you for sticking with us tonight. We want to share something with you and give you bonus prizes that will be a blessing to you, that you will enjoy. But definitely email us at hello@courageouslifeacademy.com, because I want to make sure that you get one of the prizes. Okay, so Nikita, can you bring Adrian back up real quick?
Sure, I can. Melissa, let me put a pin in what you just said. Now, she just gifted you guys something that I know is going to be awesome. But let me say this, though. When you send this email, I want you to give one sentence of a takeaway from this call, from this message. What resonated with you? What things were shared with you that you was able to take away? Because what will not happen is you telling your cousin them to send no email, honey, to get something free. You talking about courage too, honey. Some people real courageous. You understand? We're gonna go ahead though, and we're gonna bring Adrian back up. Adrian, come on now, unmute yourself, gorgeous.
Oh, Jesus, I'm hollering. I want to be one of them cousins. I didn't send out a Facebook post. Everybody email, hello.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that. That is only for the faithful few. So, Adrian, you have been a part of this entire launch process. And so we've had a lot of calls leading up to tonight, helping people to leap from their career to their calling, of how to be a powerhouse speaker and how to be an author and all of that. So you were on a call today and you had a great takeaway today, and you sent me a message immediately after. Why don't you tell us about that?
Y'all, I'm telling you, I would have never thought hearing from a designer would totally wreck me today. We were on a call about creating a creative space for your business. And mind you, on this call, I had my laptop in my bed, my headset, I had all my books laid out all over my bed in my bedroom. And she said, if your business is set up in your bedroom, move, because that's supposed to be your sanctuary. And the conviction of the Holy Ghost came all over me. I literally picked up my laptop, picked up my phone, picked up my headphones, took every book off my bed, went in my guest bedroom, literally slid everything off my desk that I don't use, and started my business in my office, in my guest bedroom today. And I began to literally cry, because I don't think Melissa knows the impact of how that call and this book is not just going to transform your lives, it's transforming my marriage. I text my husband and I apologize for him for all the times I did a call in the bed, for all the times I was in the bed working on my laptop, thinking, oh, I just want to be comfortable, I don't want to get out my bed. But that call today literally transformed how I thought of myself. Now I'm more professional, and now my marriage, I do believe, will be even better because I will be more having boundaries of that space. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are working out of your bedroom, pack your stuff up tonight. Get on the dining room table, the kitchen table, the basement, go in your garage, go somewhere. I'm telling you, that one call today totally, totally wrecked me, and I know it's going to propel my business even more. So Melissa, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the calls. I was on every last one of the calls, and that today just catapulted me to the next level.
Awesome, Adrienne. And for that is why, no, come back on. Flip the camera back. And for that is why I want to be the one to gift you with the prize from Nikki Clue, Celebrity Interior Designer, for the 30-minute consultation to be able to talk about how to create a money space in your home.
Cue the shout track, Nikita.
Yeah.
The B3 Hammond. Ekashama.
You know I'm Baptist. All we do is this.
I'm Baptist too. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I'm not going to cry because I don't want my lashes to come off, but I just thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome, Adrienne. When I received your message today, and literally, guys, she was in tears about how the call impacted her. And I've had some amazing friends and colleagues that have gifted some amazing bonuses to people that are on the Courageous Life journey and a part of the launch team. And Adrienne literally messaged me right after the training to tell me the impact. She was in tears. And I looked at Lana, who helps me out in the business. I said, she gets the consultation. She gets it. We don't have to do a random drawing. We don't have to do anything, but she gets the consultation. And so I really wanted you to have that one because you have been so super faithful. And what I mean by that is, guys, when Adrienne says she's been on every call, there have been literally probably six or seven calls in the last 2 weeks. And she's taught me what it means to show up and not only be supportive, but to be faithful and to be able to walk alongside someone as they're doing something for the first time. So, Adrienne, thank you so much for every tweet, every post, every share, every picture, every video. You were absolutely the superstar of the launch group. That's why I wanted to make sure that you had I feel like I'm choking, y'all. Look like I'm choking. Sorry. The superstar of the launch group, and that's why I wanted you to be able to gift you with such a valuable prize, not just everything that you've gotten from the value of the cause, but the opportunity to talk with Nikki Clue. And Nikki Clue, guys, she designs for celebrities like Lisa Nichols, who is one of my favorite keynote speakers, and other people around the world. So you are so welcome, Adrienne, to have that.
Awesome. Melissa, quickly before we end, I have a final question that I wanted to ask you. You were talking about the people, what you were thinking when you were writing the book, and you were thinking about yourself and the other people. But if I were to ask you, what can the people expect from the book? What kind of expectation could they have? What would that be?
Wow, it's a lot. They can expect to be definitely encouraged. They can expect to be challenged. They can expect to be inspired. And more than that, they can expect to literally get the steps to take as they're moving from one thing to the next, whether that's another career move, whether that is their next business idea, but they can truly expect to be inspired and have everything that they need in order to take that next step. Sometimes all we need is someone holding our hand, and that's what this book does. It lets you know that you're not by yourself. It talks about every real fear and real thought that all of us have, even those that are doing it. I still get the same thoughts that the person that is just thinking about beginning does, and I have to have people that push me along as I go to new levels and do new things. So they can expect to be able to get all of that and then some, and also be inspired. by stories of people who are successful keynote speakers. I mean, truly speaking, doing 120 some engagements a year, world-class, world-renowned classical pianists and astrophysicists and women that are doing amazing things, but they just didn't start there. They had to take some risks. They had to build their confidence, just like every reader that will be reading the book.
Wow. Uh, that's awesome. And just for everybody who's tuned in, guys, I'm telling you, you will be doing yourself a disservice not to invest in yourself and listen to this awesome woman of God. Melissa, what are you most excited about and what's next?
Gosh, what's next? Sleep. Some sleep. So truly, what's next is Lana asked me just a few minutes ago. I had everybody on mute, and she was just like, "I don't even know how you're doing this with all the technical difficulties. You just kept it moving." And I was like, "You know what? We're gonna keep this moving. We're gonna send out this link, and then I'm about to have an after party on Facebook Live. So anybody that wants to join me there, because I cannot allow small things and distractions to get in the way of something that God is doing big in my life." And so I am totally encouraged. So immediately that's what's next is a Facebook Live after party. We're going to keep it moving and send the link out either tonight or tomorrow morning. And then what's next after that is we're going to continue to share the Courageous Life message. There will be a live launch party in Charlotte on July 21st. So if you are there or you want to travel there, you want to hang out and party, let's do it. At Aloft Valentine, we will be there on Thursday, July 21st, before I head out to a conference for the National Speakers Association in Phoenix, Arizona. And then this fall, they can expect all kinds of events and things like that we'll be offering to help be able to not just share the Courageous Life message so that I can be seen, but to share the message so that you can start moving in the direction that you need to be moving. So guys, thank you so much. We'll also be having a spring retreat for those that really want to be immersed and say, I don't just need a quick event, I just need to really be able to get this thing and build my business or move from my career to my calling. So just be on the lookout. Follow me, and for those that want to connect and share, buy the book, stay connected. But Nikita, I want to thank you for hanging in there with me and just for sharing tonight and encouraging people. I love just your gifts that you have. You, every time I see your face, your profile pics, your videos, you inspire my heart. I just want you to be encouraged and know that, and no matter on your worst day, your presence truly blesses those like myself and others that just need to really see a smile, hear a laugh, and that your gift is not taken for granted, and it does not land lightly on those like myself who are like, Lord, I just need something to get me through the day.
Yes, thank you so much, Melissa. Guys, listen, she's already told you a lot of phenomenal things that's going on, that's going to happen, and for the live event, listen, do not come to that door without a book in your hand. That is your admission ticket. She's not going to tell you that because she's courageous and she's just sweet like that. But I'm telling you, I'm going to be at the door. Now, you need to come with the book in your hand as if you come to church with your Bible. You understand? So I need you guys to purchase the book. Even with the Facebook Live event, the after party, after this right here, share the link in there to show her that you showed up. You invested in yourself, and you're also supporting her, because you have to remember, when you take courageous steps, you're going to want somebody to support you as well. I thank each and every one of you for joining. I thank you guys for hanging in there. Melissa, thank you so much for being obedient and doing such a marvelous job with the book, giving us something tangible that we can hold on to and refer back to. So I appreciate you. You guys connect with Melissa Nixon. The book is available now on Amazon. Please go there, The Courageous Life. Copy you a copy, and I need you to post the link. Hey, take a picture, honey. Take a picture and post it on her page. Read a little something and tell people how it inspired you, encouraged you, and all that good stuff. Y'all know how we do. You would do it if you had a good deal on an outfit, or if you got some good hair. So you do it. You invest on the inside of you right now. And that right there is priceless. So, Melissa, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for joining.
Awesome. Thank you, Nikita. Thank you, Damien. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Joan, who we didn't get a chance to see tonight, but I appreciate and love all of you guys. So for those of you that are on, if you're still up and you're not getting ready to go to sleep, join me on Facebook Live in a few minutes, and we're going to have the after party over there. All right, guys. I'll see you soon.